I thought just before we get into the absolute madness that will be the AFL draft in the next few days, I thought we could look a little further ahead and go through 4 predictions for 2024 that not only can I see absolutely coming true, that I am staking on. I don't just do these predictions just to throw stuff out there. This is stuff that I genuinely believe in at the time of recording, okay? And I love the agreement and the disagreement that happens. So let me know what you think in the comments below. But let's get some real early 2024 styling predictions out of the way before we get into a genuinely bonkers draft bonanza. Let's go. And as per usual, you absolute legends, like the video if you like the video, subscribe to join the Daz Talks Footy family. Let's get to 2200 as quickly as we can, and we move on to the next goal. Absolutely awesome, but let's get into it, and we're going to start with a non-Victorian dominant top 4. If I told you Collingwood made the top 4 next year, you probably wouldn't be that surprised. But there is a very real chance that there is no other Victorian team in the rest of the top 4. Or maybe even 5th. Could be because Carlton, in my opinion, are the second best Victorian team. Yes, Carlton could improve and finish top 4, but am I more confident in Brisbane? Yes. I think GWS, Sydney, and Adelaide have all got claims to be top 4 sides next year. So yes, Carlton and Melbourne definitely in contention, but I'm saying no. I think there's going to be one Victorian team in the top 4 next year. I've got huge emotional investment in the Crows. If you haven't seen my Adelaide will make top 4 video from a little while ago, you can check it out there. And yes, I am a believer in Carlton in 2024. I'm a believer in other clubs as well. I think Collingwood and 3 Interstaters are going to be the way to go. And I'll definitely put Brisbane in there. Yes, sides that lose grand finals may not rebound as well the next year, but you think of sides like Hawthorn in 2012 lost an absolute thriller and it burned them on, and look what happened here. Am I saying Brisbane are going to win 3 flags in a row? Of course not, but I'm not predicting the slide that maybe a side like Sydney did after getting smacked in the first half of the season, even though the Swans rebounded. But 3 of the top 4 next year will not be from Victoria, and I don't think the Victorian media are going to like it. And as a Victorian, let's share the love. We stole the grand final effectively. So let's get some non-tenants here and really piss some people off. North Melbourne win the Rising Star. Now, this one is a little bit of just playing the odds a little. Instead of, picking which number's going to come up at roulette, it would be like if there were more red than black on the roulette table. Your bet would automatically be red if you wanted to win long term. Yes, sometimes you're going to get it wrong and lose a little bit of coin, but that's life, that's probability. North have got more chances than anyone to win the Rising Star this year. Not only have they got 5 first-round picks coming up in this draft, and whether they try to trade up for Geelong's pick 8, we don't know at the time of recording. You might be watching this after the draft and you already know the answer, but at the time of recording and at the time of release, we don't know that yet. They might do it. And not only that, not only the 5 that they're going to bring in the first round, and I think they're going to be Colby McKercher and Zane Dersma, who absolutely could do it. They've also got Georgie Wardlaw, which came up a couple of times on my last live stream, if you haven't checked out, you absolutely should. The draft Q&A, I love doing them, and something that I want to bring in 2024 as like round reviews with you guys. Let me know what you think about that. And Braden George, who seemingly gets injured at training a lot. But 5 first-round picks, Georgie Wardlaw, Braden George. North have got as good a chance. So let's take those odds. Could Harley Reid win it? Yes, he could. Could another youngster win it? Absolutely they could. Absolutely they could. It would be ridiculous to say they can't. I'm saying they won't, but they absolutely can. Rowan Marshall is the All-Australian Ruckman. Admittedly, he did put up a hell of a fight versus Tim English for the running this year, but considering a lot of Ruckmen have got another ruck around them, you think of Sean Darcy as an example. Yes, Max Gawn doesn't have Brodie Grundy anymore, but is it really that fun to say it's going to be Max again? Who knows? Could Tim English back it up? Absolutely he could, but again, where's the fun in going the obvious route? Let's think that Rowan Marshall's going to take another jump. I love Rowan Marshall as a player. In terms of Ruckman in the competition, if I was ranking them by skill, would he be the number 1? No. Would he be high up on the list? Very much so. In terms of my favourites, he really could be number 2 behind Gawn. I'm not going to lie to you. I love the way he gets around the ground. I think to be the All-Australian Ruckman, even though it didn't really have an impact for Tim English, I think hitting the scoreboard a little bit more is going to help him in big spots. But his work around the ground is really good. His aerobic ability, I think, can still get better. And his ability to be the number 1 Ruckman with no one really taking any shine off him at centre bounces or around the ground, much like Tim English, is going to see him nab his first blazer in 2024. And my Brownlow Smoky. So about a month ago, I was actually pretty keen on Sam Walsh winning the Brownlow until I did a bit more of a deeper dive on just how much teammates taking votes off their other teammates has an impact. You think of Petrarca and Oliver, for example. Judd Cousins, even though Judd did win his Brownlow at the time when they thought that there was not a high chance because of Cousins, Kerr, etc., etc. But in recent times, there haven't been too many instances of guys polling extremely well. Wines and Boak, I think, did really nicely a couple of years ago, but looking at Lachie Neale versus the rest of his Brisbane teammates as well, you've got to wonder whether Cripps would just take too many votes off Walsh, even if he did become one of the premier midfielders in the competition. But that's why I'm going with Tom Green, who's got good enough midfielders around him that he's not necessarily carrying them, but not really guys who are going to poll 20 plus votes and really take the award off him. Now, you might think to yourself, he didn't even win GWS's votes last year. That was Toby. Yes, and Toby Green taking votes off Tom is a very real thing that can happen. But Toby is in the 30s now, or he will be by Brownlow Medal night. So, I'm not taking it into effect just as much as I am with Tom. But what Tom's got in his advantage, or to his advantage, I should say, is his ability to win contested ball clearances, which Neale did absolutely beautifully. Okay, neither one of them are really goal-kicking mids, although Lachie Neale has come up pretty clutch a couple of times. And the only thing I think Tom Green needs to do a little bit better is potentially beat a tag, and maybe, just maybe, kick the footy a little bit more. But we've seen Tom Mitchell barely kick a footy and win the Brownlow in the same year. So who knows? But in terms of a Smoky, I think Dacos or Bont, we're not here for the obvious picks, guys. We're looking at Smokies. And for a guy who I think only polled about 16 votes last year, his time to shine. Tom Green is the man that I'm looking at to rocket up Brownlow medal leaderboards throughout 2024. So just a pocket full of predictions here for 2024. What do you think of mine? Comment below. Let me know. What are some of yours? I'd love to react to them in a video. I know I asked for it on my community page a little while ago, and then I got sick, so I wasn't able to do that vid, but I'd love to do it. So let me know what you think. Comment below. Let me know. I love interacting with you guys in the comments. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe to join the Daz Talks Footy family. I'll see you very soon for a 4-day draft bonanza that just about needs to be seen to be believed. You've got my mock draft, the Q&A, and then both days of the draft will be live streamed right here at Daz Talks Footy. Can't wait to see you there. Can't wait to talk to you very, very shortly. Goodbye.